I'm Frank Mann. I'm the co-founder of SmartUp.io with Brent Hoberman and a whole bunch of other guys. And we're focused on helping to reach entrepreneurs, particularly first-time, early-stage founders and people in teams with advice through a virtual mentor system and quizzes, etc. And it's all gamified, so there's this leaderboard that you can go up and show your skills and showcase your knowledge. And then I'm also the co-founder of Spark Labs Global, which is a big early stage fund around the world. We have 51 investments around the world since we started about 16 months ago. And then part of Spark Labs in Korea, which is the biggest accelerator in Asia.
So you've got, vast experience in the sort of venture capital world, and I'm just looking at your LinkedIn profile like you do with these things, and you've been on the board of some, pretty amazing, they're not really startups anymore, but they were at the time, so Spotify, Siri, those kind of things. Those kind of businesses, what characteristics do you think they got that have made them so successful?
I think the characteristics are very, very important around co-founders. Like the best companies I've ever known have great co-founders, be that, and then one is very good at business and product, or one's very good at product, one's very good at technical, but the complementaries, because that means that one founder isn't trying to do everything. Like there's a good balance between them. And then the second thing is that it's a product that is simple and extremely easy for the consumer to understand, or a business to understand. Whoever you're selling it to, it's extremely easy to get them to understand what you're doing. The more complicated it is, the more longer it takes you to explain it, the harder it is to sell to the consumer.
The people like the co-founder of Spotify and those kind of businesses, what about them as humans though? Do you think they've got, this question about born or bred, do you think they've got innate entrepreneurial things in them?
Entrepreneurs tend to be very, very driven characters who have an idea and just want to make that, they can see the problem and it's a big scale, it's a big problem. The best things come from problems that are affecting a wide range of people, and that can be fixed. Now, the second thing though is that there's a lot of people who are very interested in fashion, or starting a restaurant, or starting you can think about like someone who's an Instagram star. That's an entrepreneur as much as anything else. Like that person is making a lot of money off YouTubers, Instagram stars, etc. So the definition of who is an entrepreneur is very vast and different than what it used to be. It's not somebody's just selling a product. It can be just selling you as well. It can be very, very lucrative. So I think the key is whatever you do is that you've got to get engagement, however it is, whether you're selling you or you're selling your product, or you are the product. You've got to get engagement, and you've got to get people very engaged in what you are and the story about your product.
You've obviously had a lot of pitches over the years. That's again a classic question, but what are the key things that business owners should put in a pitch when pitching to people like you?
Well, you should keep it really, really simple, but you should show that you've done your research. So you show that you've looked at the market, what's the competition. Personally, I like it if there is already competition, because it's much more difficult for a brand new product to get there, because you've got to educate the consumer as to what you're doing. But you've got to talk about the competition, talk about the market size, talk about how much revenues you could possibly get. You don't have to be generating revenues when you're launching your pitch, but you do need to show where the money is going to come from eventually, and that's pretty crucial. So those key things.
You've worked all over the world, and we're in London at the moment, and we hear so much about London trying to beat Silicon Valley. And what are your thoughts on where London fits into the startup ecosystem?
For me, London's really, really crucial. So it's a big, big hub now. It's the leading hub in the world in fintech, in financial tech. It's one of the leading hubs in fashion, tech, e-commerce. So we've got some big, big companies like Farfetch coming out of here now, which are over $1 billion. We've got great, fintech companies like TransferWise, which are also valued at $1 billion plus. So London's just great for it, and it's also great to get talent, because unlike in the US, where it's very difficult to get talent from outside the US, in London it's very easy to find talent from such a vast range of people, right? So right around Europe, I've got talent from Eastern Europe to France, Germany, Sweden, etc. That I can pull in. and that's one of the big advantages here.
Do you think then that London maybe should stop trying to, be Silicon Valley and just get on to do its own thing? Really, do you think that a bit obsessed with being the Valley?
Yeah, I think it's its own thing. It's got to be its own hub. London's got to be its own hub, and London, because that's the good hubs, like London, Tel Aviv, Singapore, Seoul. They're all their own hubs. They're not a clone of the Valley. They all have a different mix of companies and mix of way of doing this.
So you say you work in Korea. What's Korea like as a startup place?
It's booming, absolutely booming. I mean, the top startup hubs now in Asia are really Seoul, Shanghai, Beijing, and Singapore in terms of like the really top hubs, and Shenzhen probably as well. But Seoul is absolutely going through the roof in terms of startups. The young kids don't want to work for Samsung anymore. They want to work for startups, and that's really changed the dynamics of the business. And it's also great because Samsung at the same time is putting a lot of money and support into startups and the other big companies in Seoul. So you've got a great mix of the corporates stimulating the community as well, because eventually, hopefully, some of those companies become big and they can become part of the big corporations.
Have you got any examples of some of the startups out there that are doing good things?
Yeah, so you've got Coupon, which is an e-commerce company which is well over $1 billion now. You've got Line, which is one of the biggest messaging apps in the world, which has had a career. And you've got Naver, you've got Nexon, which is a massive $5 billion gaming company. You've got MimiBox, which is the leading e-commerce, beauty e-commerce player now in the region. Mango Plate, which is the Yelp of Korea, so just raised a big round. So yeah,
Lots.
Keep going.
And just finally, your new service with Brent Hoberman. What are your plans for that, and why do you feel there's a need for that?
Well, I mean, we felt that it was very simple. How do we reach that smart kid in Shanghai? How do I reach all these kids here today at Super Academy? For someone like Brent and myself, that's impossible. I mean, and how do we even mentor them? So we had to figure out there has to be another way of trying to get the best ideas and advice to people. But we didn't want to just do it from just read something. We wanted to make it interactive. So we've made the first truly interactive learning app outside of the language market. And everyone's getting very excited about it. There's a leaderboard, you get to show your reward, you get to show yourself. We go deeper in profile, we show how good you are at marketing or fundraising, etc. And you see yourself which parts you need to get better at. It's very, very different to anything out there. We saw a big need for it, and